Hey, good evening, guys. So before I call it a night, I wanted to jump on here live and just tell you guys a little bit more about the KūRATED Kickstart, which is a program that I have created with personal trainer Genevieve Castonguay. We came together and we created this 4+1 program. So what that means is there is 1 week of prep where we're all going to come together as a group, and we're going to make sure that you are equipped for success in the 4 weeks that follow. And then you're going to have 4 weeks of just getting a bunch of information that is going to allow you to reset and kickstart basically a life of curated living, which to me means that we're going to set the foundational groundwork, those that base level upon which to build health and success in your life and meet your goals and be able to show up in your life. And you can't do that if you don't have a foundational groundwork in place that allows you to be happy and healthy. And so this program is really based on you're going to get a personal training component, you're going to get a naturopathic medicine component, you're going to get a mindset component, and a diet specific component. So with the personal training, you're going to get access to Genevieve, who is a personal trainer by trade. She's going to do a 20-minute fitness assessment with you. So that means that no matter where you're at in your fitness journey, whether it has been 2 days or 25 years since you've been to the gym, you can do this program. Jen is going to meet you where you're at. She's excellent at this. She's going to sit down and determine your goals with you, and then build you a customized fitness plan from there. You're going to get 4 weeks of remote personal training with her. So in the palm of your hand, she actually has an app herself that she works off of. So you're going to have access to Jen through the app on your phone on an ongoing basis for those 4 weeks. We are granting you access to that app for free, and then you're going to get 4 15-minute consultations with her. So once a week during the program, she is going to touch base with you and make sure that you're on track. And we know the research keeps telling us that these lifestyle changes, what makes them the most challenging is that most people are trying to tackle them on their own. So I wanted to remove that aspect when we created this program and ensure that you guys had community and accountability. So Jen and I are both going to show up for you guys in a big way over these 5 weeks and ensure that you are staying on point and that you are going to be successful in completing the KūRATED Kickstart and meeting your goals. And then from there, you are going to get a 60-minute naturopathic consult with me. So that's an initial intake. I'm going to meet with you in person. We're going to do any necessary indicated physical exams, and I'm going to sit down with you. I'm going to deliver the 4-week meal plan that you get as part of the plan. We're going to sit down and we're going to customize that according to your goals, your conditions. And the beauty of this is that the program is not a one-size-fits-all thing. I'm calling it a program because I don't have another word for it, but it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. I don't believe in that for a number of reasons, especially when you're trying to make major shifts. If you're trying to just do the absolute bare bones basics, then a program like that is actually fantastic. But when we're trying to deliver customized medicine to each individual client within the group, that requires me to sit down with you, get to know you, get to know your goals, get to know where you have been at, where you are, and where you want to go, so that we can do some strategic supplementation. So nobody going through the KūRATED Kickstart is going to have the exact same plan. That being said, some of the foundational basic groundwork pieces are going to be the same for a number of people. And then you also have the opportunity to purchase additional follow-ups with me. So originally that was built into the package. I've taken that out, and I'm going to provide people with the opportunity to sit down with me one-on-one throughout the program. I do recommend that you do that after week 2 and after week 4, just for a 15-minute kind of tune-up, touch base consult, so that we can make sure that you are staying on track. I'm just gonna kind of read off some of the other things that we're doing in the KūRATED Kickstart. So in that first prep week, I'm going to be giving you guys a prep phase checklist. We're going to be talking about anticipating what I'm calling fail-rated sabotage. So things that are going to get in the way of you being successful in the KūRATED Kickstart and building this foundational groundwork for health. So things like kitchen setup, things like troubling times of day, things like, you know, making sure that we have a snack stash, because there are going to be days where you will start to feel that crash going on. And if we're trying to keep those blood sugar levels stable, we need a healthy snack stash that is available at a moment's notice. That's the other thing about this program, is that I've tried to be really real and realistic about what people can manage in today's world. So snack stash it is. We're going to talk about bedroom setup and making sure that your bedroom is set up in such a way that you can optimize your sleep. We're going to talk about danger zones in your house, at work, even danger people that just throw you off, people that trigger you. You're like, oh, every time I see that girl, we have to go get ice cream, whatever it is. And turns out you're dairy intolerant. You know, we need to talk preemptively about how we're going to manage that. Then we're going to talk about a curated home care checklist. So that being environmental toxins and looking at everything that is in your household environment and how we can you know, optimize the living environment for you. We're going to do a fridge purge and a guide to label reading, so that you know, I want you to leave the program with just a ton of resources that allow you to live a curated life moving forward. So you don't need to call me every time you're at the grocery store. You have the ability to read labels in a really efficient way, so that it makes moving through life and making healthy choices much simpler for you. As part of the mind portion of the program, I'm going to give you 30 days of mindfulness exercises and journaling prompts that we're going to do both individually and as a group. Just so you know, if you join this group, you are going to be asked to show up in a big way. I'm going to push you a little bit. I want people to get vulnerable. I want people to get real with where they're at, where they've been, where they're at, and where they're going. And I think that if we were all able to do that as a group, it can be really, really powerful, because sometimes we feel like we're alone, and we're totally not. We're also going to look at the importance of feminine, masculine energy balance in our lives. This is something that I'm going to link into my training in Asian medicine, and how a lot of women are kind of being either forced or choosing to live their lives right now, and how that affects our hormones and how that affects basically our foundational health. Then, as I mentioned, the fitness assessment with Jen. We're going to talk about what your body shape is telling you about your health, why more exercise is not always better, and moving in tune with your cycle. So I know that might sound a little off the wall, but you can actually line up your workouts with your cycle if you're a menstruating female. So that's kind of cool. And then I'm going to give you an intake questionnaire, and the ability to score and interpret that is going to come from your meeting with me, so that we can decide where you are and where we're going to go with things. And that's just one of the techniques that I use to figure out where you're at. And then, like I mentioned, the 4-week meal plan. I'm going to give you tons of options on what you can be drinking that is not just water and coffee. And then we are going to talk about portioning. We're going to talk about carb cycling. We're going to talk about medicinal foods that you can keep around that will help you balance your hormones. And we're also going to talk about detox support on a daily basis. So like I mentioned in a previous video, detox is not just something that needs to be done in like a 20-day aggressive detox manner. It's something that your body is doing whether you like it or not, whether you're helping it along or not, every single day. If it wasn't, you would be very, very, very ill, I promise you. But we can do little things on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to support detox. So we're going to talk about that in the KūRATED Kickstart. And then I'm also going to talk about why we often suggest, or you hear people talking about limiting soy. Where does that come from? Why I do or do not disagree. I'll leave you hanging on that one. Eating in line with your cycle. And then I'm also going to provide you with a food reintroduction journal so that if you do any food eliminations throughout your 4-week diet plan, just on the premise that perhaps you think or you suspect that you are sensitive to something, I'm going to give you a food reintroduction journal so that even after the KūRATED Kickstart is over, you can continue on this curated living journey. So it's a 4+1 program, but I want to give you a ton of resources so that you are equipped to carry on doing what you're doing long after the program ends. So if you guys have any comments or questions, please post them below in the comments. I will be posting a link fairly soon so that you guys can sign up for the program. Last but not least, I want to say that the personal training aspect of the program is not covered by your insurance, but if you have extended healthcare benefits, the naturopathic aspects, so your visit with me, your meal plan, things like that are covered by insurance. So the program is actually on a financial level very, very attainable, especially if your extended healthcare benefits cover naturopathic medicine, which a good portion of them do. So I would encourage you over the next couple of days, if this is something that you're interested in, call up that insurance company and see what your coverage is. I know many, many, many people, including many of my patients, have not used up that coverage, and it's an annual thing, right? So January to January. I know people who haven't even tapped into it yet, and it's October, so use it up. Make some shifts in your health, and if you're waiting for January 1st to do this sort of thing, I would encourage you not to, because I'll ask you just one question. What happened to last year's New Year's resolution? If you followed through, I'm so happy for you. I didn't. So I guess that's where this is coming from. But yeah, just, January 1st doesn't change anything. And ultimately, if you want to be healthy, if you think that 2018 is the year for me, I'm going to take over the world in 2018, then you need to set the foundational groundwork for that, for health, so that you can have health to build your wealth. In 2018, you need to start now. So let's get the conversation going. If you have any comments or questions about the program, please post them below. I can guarantee if you have the question, so does everybody else. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then please send me a private message and I will address it in a video or a post to come. So have a great evening, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk soon.